good evening, and welcome to another edition of the Ohm Service Live. Hope you're all well. How are we, gentle folks?
All right,
darling. Fabulous.
yes. One is back to fighting, and all of a sudden there's feeling chirpy and happy and well.
Good. I'm glad to hear. Hello, everyone in chat. Hello, everybody on the replay. Hope you're all well.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. No, I'm still in.
Still in rant
page.
still in rant mode.
Oh, we
Bloody
are
hell.
seriously in rant mode. Yes, Bunny, can't wait. 1 week
Till honks.
till Huggles.
Honks.
Can't wait.
Honks would be far more fun. What? I detect a slight shake of the head there, Mr. Porter.
Honks are more fun than Huggles.
Easy, Tiger.
No.
Well, just to let you all know, folks, next Thursday, obviously, there will be a live show, and it will be our Expo special live show. So that's something to look forward to next week.
Unfortunately, I might not be here. What?
Share.
I already told you. I've got a couple of bike meets coming up. And it happens to be on a Thursday evening, unfortunately.
It's
Oh,
all
did-
right.
Yes, I did.
Sorry, darling.
Yes, I got permission from the headmaster and the deputy. But
Well,
yes,
still, we will still be doing our Expo
thing is, though,
special.
if it's raining, which normally does in Scotland, I won't be going because I ain't standing outside in the pissing rain, so I may be here, I may not.
Ah. Fair weather attendee.
When he worked when he worked the bike the other day, because Alexa said, "Oh yes, it's just to be cloudy." Yeah, she never mentioned the bloody rain, the torrential bloody rain.
Why do you get torrential rain?
Yeah, just every now and again.
I
Every
thought
day it ends in Y.
I thought the period from March to October was the monsoon season north of the border.
It's normally January to January.
Oh, wouldn't that be brilliant if the Scots got to name the storms?
Well, we did know with Hurricane Bobag a few years back.
Bob.
Honest to God, there was t-shirts and everything printed up. I survived Hurricane Bobag.
Oh, he's off.
Hey, Corona.
What did we tell you? No Coke before the show.
I know, I just had a line before we got live, so I'm a bit wired. No, I'm not. I haven't. No, I haven't. No.
Salford, good evening, sir. I've just spotted. Oh, and Hef.
Oh, you
So,
can say hello to everybody in chat,
Anne.
sir.
I think I'd better.
Yeah, before it goes, Hurricane Bobag was in 2011. It was all known as Cyclone Freetown, but it was called Hurricane Bobag up here.
Okay, Bob.
165 mile per hour gusts in the Cairngorms.
That sounds distinctly painful.
Mm.
Right. Adam Stone, good evening, sir. Hey up, me duck, how you doing?
Hello.
Bill Richards, darling. Hello. Faxi M's. Dude. That was nice in that shout out on Flat Caps, the safe.
They were a good little show. That I enjoyed it.
That was a cork. If you haven't seen it, it's up there on Flat Caps channel. Our little Mark, up for an hour.
Hey, we're good giggle.
It was a bloody enjoyable show to watch. Stevie, good evening, sir. Black Country Vapor. Fee. Huggles. Festus Dude. Second name check of the evening. John Vaping Joker, hope you're well, dude. John Paul Glasgow, good evening, sir.
Hello, John Paul. Not seen you about for a while.
Thanks, Francis.
We got Dawn W's in. Good evening, darling. Huggles. Grateful Ant. Good evening, dude. We got Jules Mama Vapes. Hello. Huge huggles, darling, and I hope you're feeling a bit better for yourself, sweetie. Chris Lethal Coils. Good evening, sir.
Chrissy, baby, hope you're all right, bud.
Mark H. Hope you've had a good day at the shop, dude. Thoroughly enjoying those little shots you've been throwing up on Facebook there, sir.
Got a call for that.
Graham, Net Reality, home of Amatorium and all things wonderful, tasty, and oh my god. Norse
Not
Vapor.
sponsored.
No, not at all. Norse Vapor, good evening, sir. Dude. Alan Williams is with us.
Week to go, kiddo.
Oh, excellent. Is Alan there for one?
Oh, yes.
Oh, brill. Al, I'm looking forward to introducing you to the lovely lady who will be with me, mate. She's a diamond. Salford! Dude!
Big fish.
It's been a while. Good evening. Vaping Snowman. Sir.
Do you want to build a snowman?
God, he must be so sick of people doing that. Bunny! Oh! Bongos. Vapor Queen Becky, good evening, darling. Buggles! And Zan! Buggles!
Buggles!
Big manly huggles.
Not as big as they were by a long shot.
No.
No.
No, I was speaking to Zan the other night on Zoom, and he was sitting. I got my couple of t-shirts. I think it was last year, Zan, for your birthday, I think it was. And he says, I couldn't get this on. He said, I can now get it on. He says, and it's too big for me. And it literally was hanging on him. He's doing absolutely amazing.
For those that haven't been or aren't aware of what Zan and Gailey are doing at the minute, that between them, the weight loss is incredible.
It's fantastic what they're doing.
Big kudos to both of you. You know, keep it up. Because honest to God, it's fantastic. It really is.
And I'm going other way. It's not nice.
I've been doing that for ages.
No. I've put a stone and a half on since I've gone on to these bloody drugs.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
How about
Vapor. Good evening. I'll give him into trouble for it, you dick.
What's that?
You forgot Freerider.
Did I?
Yes.
Freerider, I do apologise, sir.
So consider yourself chastised. I'll spank you later.
Oh, thank you. I say. Shocking.
So yes, are we going to get this elephant out of the room?
Yes.
Or talk about the elephant in the room, or whatever the fuck you want to do. About the evil entity that is YouTube. Oh, and Pasty.
Pasty, darling, sorry. As I say, the participants list only shows
What do you fucking say?
if you typed it. Fuck you.
So,
Again.
we've got 39 people in chat. We've got 11 likes. Come on,
Hit that
people.
thumbs up button, you bastards. Better do it myself, eh?
Oh, look,
The
we've got
majestic
Vicky.
one.
Hi.
Greetings, Mr. Mullen. How are you doing, you handsome bastard? Cinnamon. Thank you for confirming it is Vic, John. Oh, yes, you are, Vic.
And no, Zan, I'm not saying it.
What, cinnamon?
Mm-mm.
What?
Cinnamon.
Cinnamon.
Do.
Gaily! Good evening! The party pants list is pish. Yes, I'd go with that. It's crap. Oh, Factsy. Vic's earlier videos. They were a vlog, but the hairdo is awesome. And I must admit, I had Vic in mind when I put that post up on Facebook the other night. And it was, what was it? It was a picture of a bench in Yorkshire. In memory of Hugh Gwen, who sat here and told the seagulls to fuck off.
Stop eating my chips.
Oh, bless. Anyway, he's caused enough chaos by appearing, bless him.
Yeah, that's another fucking strike.
What?
Vic appeared in chat. We're all
Yeah.
going to strike now.
Nah, they can't prove it. And if you are looking for your UKVS fix, over on Twitch tonight.
I believe.
Grizzly's Twitch channel, yes.
We take Queen's Fold in there, Vic. All right, yeah. A little bit of lubrication would be well appreciated, son. You know what I mean? Either that, or if you can throw us one of the groupies you finished with at Expo, I'll be up for that, mate. What? Hey, don't let looks deceive, mate. Just because they're 70 doesn't mean they're worn out, all right?
Betty,
Just need to take something with you to take up the slack.
Betty, what's he on about?
I don't know, he's on his prepared mode again.
I ain't got a clue what he's on about. Something about 70-year-olds. I have not got a clue.
Yeah, Vic's groupies. Never mind. Fuck it. Carry on.
I'm lost.
You certainly are carrying on.
Well, if you two bloody say something, I wouldn't have to.
That's what you say. What you try to say? Vic's groupies all smell of formaldehyde.
No, piss and lavender, but...
With a faint hint of steak pie. They'll get that.
Anyway, Vic, hope you're all right, mate.
Yes.
After all
In all
that,
seriousness, lovely to see you, dude.
yeah, it is. It's nice for you to venture and say hello to us. It's always nice to have you. One day we'll have you actually on the show.
Yes, please.
Yeah, one day.
I just want to be the recipient of the right there BFG, right there.
You've only got a week to go, and he'll probably fucking do it straight to your face, right up your nose.
My kneecap.
Well, don't forget, Bunny's bringing the paddle for him at Expo.
Fuck right off.
I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying.
Nope.
Yeah, your ass is getting tanned
Nope.
by Bunny.
May I have another? Please.
There's only one person tans my ass, and she doesn't speak Irish.
You
Good
said.
evening, Russ Morgan.
Russ, good evening, sir.
Ross, fist bump. Hope you're all right, matey. So, we're going to have to talk about it.
Yes.
If you guys don't
No
know...
one mentions Fight Club.
Yeah, that's it. If you guys do not know, or you've not noticed, there are no reviews on this channel anymore. The whole lot. 7 years worth have gone. I started, after a Flat Caps live show, I started editing my videos literally from the beginning all the way. And Vic will confirm what a nightmare YouTube's editing software is. It is an absolute nightmare. And what started off as every time I'd edited a video, As soon as I'd saved it, about 10 minutes later, I'm getting YouTube emailing me saying that they've age restricted an age restricted video. So this carried on through the night, and then I carried on on Saturday morning. Round about, I would say somewhere around about 2 o'clock-ish in the afternoon, I got a strike on the channel. And the strike was, after transversing with YouTube, I found out that it was a video from 2016. I'd already edited the actual video, but I'd not listened to it, and I'd said the word .com. So they struck me for that. So I appealed it, and in the meantime of appealing it, I thought, you YouTube, and I've deleted the whole lot. There is no reviews whatsoever on this channel anymore. And at the present moment in time, there won't be any at all. I'm not reviewing, as simple as that. I've got rid of the reason why I got rid of all my review videos, because I wanted to keep this. This is my little baby, the Ohm Service. Been doing it for a few years now, and I love our Thursdays, and it's one of the reasons why I got rid of it. What I'm going to do after Expo, I don't know. I'm going to look into other avenues, but I don't even know if I'm going to carry on actual reviewing either. Reviewing vaping. So just thought I'd let you all know that, yeah, I lost 7 years worth of hard work, and it has been hard work sometimes, and sometimes you don't want to come up here and do it, and I have done. Gorgeous sunshine days at the weekend when everybody's out there with family having beers in the beer garden. I was sat in here recording and editing. Vic will understand totally where I'm coming from. I was in here recording, and the amount of time that I've done that over this last 7 years, it's so like, yeah, dedicated to as much as I physically can. And now YouTube's draconial system, they are still attacking, and the only other word I can use is attacking, because that's how it feels. I deleted all my videos 3 days ago, and I'm still getting emails today saying that they're age restricting videos that have been deleted. I've had 4 emails today alone. So yeah, as far as YouTube is concerned, I'd like to say no, they are not trying to ban vaping, but I think what they are trying to do is ban it through the back door. I really, genuinely, hand on heart, do. I think the next thing that will probably happen in the vape community is that you will not be allowed to actually physically use the device. I think that will be the next curb. Because after what they've already done with the URLs, you can't say .com and everything and all that. What else are they going to use? And I think the next thing will be you can't use the actual physical. You can't be seen to be vaping on actually live shows or on video. I think that's where they'll be going next.
Yes, but I don't think they'll show, as you say, on the review side of things, you won't be able to use a restricted device or show anyone vaping on an item that they are saying restricted. So it's going to be, this is what's in the box. That's it.
But what boils my piss more than anything else, though, is how unfair it is. Now, going through YouTube, obviously we've age restricted our videos, which is fair enough. I appreciate that. I mean, let's face it, for you to go and buy a vape device, you've got to be a minimum of 18 in the UK. Elsewhere it's 21, etc. So I appreciate that. The problem with that, you age restricting your videos, is that 1, YouTube will not promote your video. 2, if your URL goes to a website, an external website, like most vape companies do, so you do a review for a vape company, they will put your video on their website. The problem with age restrictions is that if you want to watch that video on Vaporesso's website, you can't. You've got to go and log in to YouTube to watch it. So there's that. So obviously you your viewing drops. But what really, really gets me is that if you type in age restriction on YouTube, there are thousands upon thousands of video tutorials showing you how to bypass the age restriction. Another thing that really winds me up, and I did put a post up on Facebook about it, there are videos showing you how to make guns. And we're not talking about water guns. No, these are guns that can fire metal ball bearings. But that's okay. It is age restricted. I've got to admit, the video is age restricted. But YouTube is quite happy for people to watch how to make a gun.
Yeah, because it's in the American Constitution.
But the thing that's really bugging me about this, and I'm going to draw a parallel here, two parallels. If the English government brings in a law that significantly changes something, there's a grandfather date. So you will always get anything to do with cars or whatever, anything prior to blah, blah, blah is exempt. Yeah? YouTube don't do this. So to bring it, if you bring it, say, to the DJs from Radio 1 back in the 70s, a couple of them ended up in court for patting somebody on the arse 30 years after the fact. Yeah? I'm not condoning any of that action, but what I am saying is back in the 70s, that was acceptable behaviour.
Yeah.
Back in 2016, it was perfectly acceptable to have URLs, to show links in chat, blah, blah, blah. It's
But
only
can we
recently
put?
they banned it.
I've got to put this in a bit of a context as well. People like myself, the reason why I started reviewing, and the only reason I started reviewing, was because I'd found an alternative to smoking, and I wanted to share my enthusiasm.
Yeah.
And if along the way, if I helped someone transverse from cigarettes to vaping, I was well chuffed. And my first ever video was for a lorry driver. It wasn't to be a reviewer. It was a joke that I did as reviewing to show a friend of mine a mod. Now, going back to when I started, I mean, obviously vaping with vape, he's been going longer than I have. And he was promoting where to go. So you've got this device. This is where you can go and get it. You wasn't selling it.
No. You were putting it out.
About and the annoying thing is, you know that YouTube knows that you are not selling these products. They know it. This excuse that they're making up, that it's so like you're selling that product. Well, no.
Bullshit. What this is about, at the end of the day, vaping is not acceptable in the States. Full stop. The big advertisers are from the States. They do not want to be associated with blah, 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 and hence why it's in the T&Cs.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, it should be... Sam M's just put it. I appreciate it's YouTube sandpit. I have got no complaint about it's being their sandpit. But the thing is, the rules that they make are not equal.
No.
If it was equal, then yeah, fair enough. That's the rules. That's how it's set out. Fine. Trying to find their community guidelines on vaping. You can find bits, but honestly, you have got to dig so far into the guidelines to find out what you've done. But it's like, you try and get in touch with YouTube and find out what you've done wrong so you don't repeat it. But trying to do that is virtually impossible. I mean, today I was on Twitter because you can get actually a better response if you go to Team YouTube than actually mailing YouTube. And I asked the question, why are you sending me emails telling me you're age restricting a video today that got deleted 3 days ago? And their reply back was basically why they age restrict my video, but because my video's been deleted, I can't appeal against it. And it's like, no, I don't want to appeal against it. I want to know why you're emailing me that you're going to restrict a video that I've already deleted, that was already age restricted in the first place.
You'll never get that in a public forum.
It's honestly, it's absolutely crazy.
It is. And the other thing is with YouTube, and I've noticed this a lot, they don't tell you the rules so they can change them.
Yeah. Or they make it so vague.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I have got no problems following their rules if they could set them out properly. But they're so vague and...
Like you've just said, though, yes, it's their sandpit. One end's fine and it's filtered and it's got golden sand and you've got millions of views. The other end's the bleeding litter tray.
Oh, right, we are the litter tray.
When they're throwing you in the litter tray and you don't know why you're being thrown in the litter tray, yeah.
It just goes to show how corrupt their rules and regulations are when they're trying to when they're saying something's age restricted, when it's already age restricted, and then as you say, Mark, it's not even on. It's gone. It's been deleted.
It's gone. It's deleted. I mean, I've literally deleted everything because there was no. I work. I work 12 hours a day, 5 days a week, sometimes on a Saturday. I have not got the physical time or the willness to go through, what was it, nearly 900 videos to double check to see if I've said .com.
Yeah, I mean that's a fair point. Just what you've said. I mean, like I said, Dean and Vic, that people who are still reviewing, well, for as long as it is going to continue, you guys are going to have to double check everything. You're going to start recording stuff, and then before you actually put it up on YouTube, you're going to have to review it and go, shit, I need to take that out, I need to take this out, I need to take that out, I need to take this out, I need to take the next thing out. And whereas you were editing stuff that maybe said, I know I've been up here when Jules was doing it, just for saying sake, it took you an hour to edit a 5-minute or a 10-minute video, whatever it was. That hour is now going to take you an hour and a half to 2 hours because you're having to double check everything again and again and again.
Where is it?
And it's more.
I reviewed this, which is the Gen 200. Didn't show anything. And then it wasn't until when all of a sudden this URL thing kicked off the other week that I'd noticed that on the inside of this box, it's got a URL. I didn't even see it. I noticed, I read the warning and everything, but I didn't see it. So I had to blur that out. It's like...
Cheers,
I don't know. I mean, my strike, the strike I got, I'd already... What really... And one of the reasons I thought, fuck this, I'd already edited it. I'd blurred out all the URLs, and it was because just right at the end, I'd mentioned the URL. I'd actually physically spoke it. Now, at the time, it was from 2016. In 2016, they were quite happy for you to say URLs. They was quite happy for you to have URLs in the description.
I mean, the thing is as well, I mean, how ludicrous is it going to get? Are they going to actually sit and go through and watch videos and then turn around and say, wait a minute, you're showing a URL on your YouTube video, on your review? No, I'm not. Yes, you are. Because if you look to your left, right behind you, on the second shelf to the right, it's on there. Is that how ludicrous they're going to get?
Yeah.
You don't know, but the way things are going, yes. I mean, somebody mentioned, who was it, regarding the live shows? They may go after the live shows, and the reason, and as Mark said earlier on, I think the reason they'll go for live shows is you can't use that on air. You can't be seen to be using that. What do you do?
Honestly, I mean, and let's be right, and I'm not dissing anybody at all here. Rumble will never get the traction that YouTube has. It never will, because 99% of people ain't got a clue what Rumble is. I mean, honestly, Vic, I feel sorry for you so much. You won't believe how much I feel sorry for you because of the time, the work and effort that you put in. Out of all the reviewers that I know, the time and effort that guy puts in, that is not just a hobby. This is a hobby for us.
It's a job for Vic.
It's a job for Vic.
It's income.
It really, honestly, it's just scary. It really is. But I'd like to also add, what I'd like to see is the companies that we help and support through vaping, why aren't they helping us to sort of like curb YouTube? Why can't they help us? Even if it's only a stern blooming email.
Yeah, my duck. Yeah, I know it's software. I know it's bots that's picking it up, but I'm just saying, how ludicrous is it going to get? Are they going to get people physically watching videos and looking out for stuff like that?
The bots are the
I'm just saying that's how ludicrous it can get. Not that it may happen, but you never know with YouTube. I mean, I do know it's software that's picking all this out.
You're only saying it's a bot, right? When you actually physically upload a video, there's this time period that you saw, like in a lull, thinking that it's just uploading. No, it's not. They've already got an algorithm working out what you're saying. There'll be key notes, and they will pick up what wordings, and there'll be certain phrases that the algorithm will pick up on. If they can do it with vocals, with audio, they can definitely do it with video.
How long before they start picking up URLs on t-shirts?
Exactly. How long will it be before I'm wearing an AC/DC t-shirt and I'm going to have to blur that t-shirt out?
Yeah, I mean, even behind you. I mean, you've got Cartman there behind you. Copyrighted South Park.
Yeah.
It's
Black cat, fist bump. They enjoyed it the other night with Ace, mate.
Evening, guys. He has got a bumper for everything, though, hasn't he?
He has, hasn't he? Look at that coca bumpers. And yes, I did watch it back.
I did like the pigeon with the fat lips comment. That had me chuckling.
What's that chicken? That chicken? Yeah, chicken with big lips that goes, it's a duck.
Less. So, is that the rant?
So, no. It ain't. So where we go from here?
Well, yeah.
And literally, it's as simple as this. Obviously, the channel at the present moment, there will be obviously no reviews. There are no more SoulOhm reviews on here at the moment. So the only thing that I'm trying to keep going is the Ohm Service. This is where you guys come in. You guys, you love our show. You come in every week, week in, week out. We need your help to promote the show. So it's as simple as that. And all I can say is, please, can you help the show? Obviously, get it out there. Get people talking about it. Because, obviously, if we don't, obviously, there's only so much we can do. So we need your help. A call to action.
Yes. But does anyone know if this is happening to other product reviews? Yes, it is.
Oh, yes, it is, yeah.
It's not just vaping. There's a lot of electrical stuff that's getting hammered at the moment. There's a few videos on YouTube regarding other reviewers for certain other things who are being stricken as well. So it's not just vaping, but unfortunately they've got a hard on for vaping at the moment. So
I mean, it'll probably calm down until about
I mean,
October time.
see, the thing is though, I mean, when you see what's happening in the States, there's a lot of states over there at the moment are doing U-turns
Yeah,
regarding vaping. So it's not as bad over there as it was, but is it going to get to where it was in the past? I don't think so. So we're still in this sticky wicket with YouTube.
yeah.
Up until such times as the Americans say, vaping's great, vaping does this, it's saving lives, this, that, and the next thing, and YouTube goes, yay, we can let all you guys do it again. It could be a year, 2 year, 5 year down the line, whatever it is. But by that time, everybody's went, fuck you.
I've got a feeling it's the same thing, Vic. They're either going to sell it. There's something in the air. There really is, because let's face it, they are losing views on YouTube. People are moving away from YouTube. They're going to places like TikTok and other platforms. So there's something in the air. I can't put my finger on it, but something's definitely in the air.
Snowman.
Saying that, get copyright for that.
No, because I'm tone deaf, so you couldn't tell what it was.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's face it, it's not just YouTube. I mean, you look at Netflix. They're struggling now. It's interesting how fickle the actual entertainment side is. It's so fickle, it's unreal.
Well, I mean, Paramount have entered the fray and taken away Star Trek, which has taken a big chunk of viewers with it.
Yeah.
Plus, they're offering new stuff. You know, I think to be honest, I think the lockdown and the response to COVID scared a lot of the studios, and they will become more insular with their product. You know, the cinemas will be there. They want you in the theatres. But for the resale and the home market, I think we're going to see a lot more streaming services.
I do. Because, believe it or not, there are loads of them. There's loads of streaming services out there.
Oh, there is.
It's frightening.
And it's
But
interesting.
I've noticed, I follow a girl that all she does is talk about Fire Sticks.
Yeah.
And Amazon, they're getting a bit tighter on sideloading.
Really?
Yeah, there's quite a few sideloading platforms that they are making it so that you can't sideload them.
Oh, that'll get the hacking boys salivating.
Exactly. And let's face it, one of the main reasons why people got Fire Sticks was because you could sideload them.
Yeah. I basically had to delete all mine off my Fire Stick because you can't access them anymore.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing about sideloading is interesting because Amazon have followed a fairly standard pattern here. So you open it up, you have a device where you can sideload. Apple did the same thing with Apple TV right up until version 3. As soon as version 3 hit the shelves and they updated the software, forget sideloading.
I think the latest version for the Fire Stick, once upon a time you used to be able to make your own home screen. You could sideload and make your own home screen. You can't do it now.
No. And
so you've got to have the Amazon adverts.
And the reason for that being that not only the Amazon adverts, but it stops the things that aren't stocked on the Amazon software center. So if you've got something sideloaded, some things required a separate launch pad for the Fire Stick to actually show it. Yeah. Now, if you lock it down so that you've only got the Amazon home screen, you've just wiped out a lot of the competition there. But There's ways and means around it. There
Oh.
always is. There was a lovely article today that had me pissing myself. They did a 0-day event in Canada, yeah? And 2 teams managed to crack the security systems on Windows 11, and one of them managed to hack Teams. Something that Microsoft have said, no, can't be done, can't be. Yes, it bloody can.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Where there's a 13-spotty-year-old who's after free porn, get out of the way.
But it's like what Vic said. Me personally, I can't speak for anybody else. I can only speak for me personally. Honestly, I was nearly in tears over the weekend. I really was nearly in tears, because it's so like all that time and effort that I'd put in, 7 years worth. I mean, all right, I'm not a big YouTuber. I'm not Grim Green. I'm not Vic. You know, I'm only a little blooming. I ain't even got 4,500 subs. I'm only a tiny little minuscule nobody in the grand scheme of blooming YouTube. And it's like you're picking on me. It's so like, and you do feel like you're being picked on, especially with these continuous emails of, oh, we're age restricting this video. Well, I've already age restricted it, so why do you need to age restrict it? And it's so like continuous bombardment all day, all over the weekend. It was terrible, and they're still at it now. That's the worst thing as well. It's so like, it's almost like they're putting salt in the wound. Because it's so like, another email, we're telling you we're going to age restrict your video, but it's so like I've had to delete it because of your bloody stupid draconial blooming rules. And it's so like, God, you are being just nasty. But I mean, 7 years I've lost. 7 years. I mean, all right, yeah, I've got them backed up on hard drive if I want to go back and watch them myself.
But that's not what you did it for. You did it to educate the vaping public.
Yeah. I mean, I've never asked for anything. I mean, I monetized it for the channel for about a year, and that were literally a waste of time. Literally, while YouTube had already done its deeds with that because of the yellow mark, so I'd stopped monetizing. I've never had a Patreon. I've never had go fund me this or go fund that. I've never done it. I've done it all off my own back. Money wise, spending. This is the second computer I've had to buy, screens, lights, editing software. It's all out of my own pocket. This whole thing has been out of my own pocket, my own time, for them to take it away just because they think that I'm selling vape products. It's just so demoralising. It really is. I mean, you can be flippant and say, oh, well, it's only a video. Yeah, all right. If I'd have been doing it a year or even 2 years, yeah, I can appreciate that. But 7 years, damn pan.
It's a kick in the teeth. It really is a kick in the teeth.
Yeah, and the thing is with me, though, all I've ever wanted to do is help. That's all I've ever wanted to do is help. Because I know this product is at least 95% safer than having a cigarette. This helps to save people's lives.
Yep.
Anyway.
and then it leads on to, I mean, I think you touched on it last week as well, the safety aspect of things. You're going to get people going out there who are just new to vaping, who, well, God forbid, or it's maybe not the right word, but within the next year or so, you're going to see all these disposable vapes disappear out the shops, and we're going to get back to battery devices again. Do you know what I mean? Proper mods that we use, and you're going to get people going in and going, "Can I get that one up there? Do you know how to use it?" Well, no, but it should be all right, because you can't go into bloody YouTube and fucking see somebody doing a review now, so you don't know what's safe and what's not safe. Why are these plastic things on these batteries? I'll just take these off and start.
I mean, you've got
You
people.
could
I mean,
believe.
we keep on mentioning Vic, but I will mention Vic. Vic's done his 101s, and they are purely to help people.
Yeah.
They're not for anything else. They're not for selling. Oh, get this latest thing. You've got to buy it. You've got to buy. No, he's doing videos to help people. Help people get off smoking onto e-cigarettes. And it's so like he's not doing that for monetary value. That is to literally help people. I tell you one thing: history we will go down in history, and America will go down in history. This is one of the biggest crimes for healthcare.
Yep.
It will do.
100% agree with you.
I'm telling you now, when I'm dead and gone, and them kids look back on what we went through, it is the biggest crime in health. We have found something that saves thousands and thousands of people's lives, and we've got countries and platforms like this restricting it.
It's getting ridiculous. That's good to see, Vic. Those 101s are staying up. You know, I
Good
mean,
lad.
the stupid thing is, we're about to enter a recession. Forget this crisis. This is a recession coming. And now's the time where pennies, you know, a couple of p either way is going to make a difference. Yeah. Now's the time when we should be doing the reviews. Now's the time where we should be saying it's good, but this one's better and it's cheaper. You know, I mean, shiny artists is all well and good when you've got it to throw around. People haven't.
Exactly.
You know,
I mean, people are now at the point where it's sort of like, do we put the heating on or do I feed the kids?
there's so many people in that, and yet we've still got idiots in suits standing up in Westminster and saying you can eat for 30p.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw it. One of my ex-colleagues from the catering industry tried to do it. Can't be fucking done.
No.
Cannot be done.
I'm I can just hear Gailey just now shouting at the screen, "Fucking Tory bastards!"
I wasn't going to mention any parties. I'm just going to say twats in suits. But if you have a catering kitchen, yeah, and you are a trained chef can tell you what an exact portion, how much it weighs, and how much it's going to cost to the penny. Because you have to be able to do it when you're doing your menus, yeah? Now, he's saying that the chefs at the food bank can get it down to 30p. Yeah, probably can, because they're cooking it on industrial-sized portions.
Yeah, but if it's a food bank, they're getting the food for nothing.
Well, this is it. But they're cooking it up, yeah, and teaching them how to do this, and they're doing it in a kitchen.
Yeah, but they're getting the food from the supermarkets that are near enough, they're either at their end of the sell-by date or past it.
But the problem is, the cheaper you go, the more fat, the more sugar, and the more additives there is in it.
Yeah.
Why do you think the whole country's so obese? It's not because they're going out to McDonald's every single day. It's because the food that they're buying is the cheapest of the cheap, and like you said, it's the ones that are full of fat and full of sugar.
Yeah.
And this is it. You know, it's price per patient per meal is 64p in hospitals. Yeah, it's about that, all right. Most primary schools, you're looking at less than £1 per meal, and that's for everything. But the only way they do that is by cooking in industrial kitchens, and then it goes out pre-packed to the schools.
Yeah. I mean, and this MP who stated this about the 30p a day also said that the rising hunger is not down to the cost of living crisis. It is instead due to a lack of domestic skills.
Cobblers. absolute cobblers. You give me a couple of 5, 6-year-old kids, yeah? I'm not going to cook them, but I can teach them how to cook a simple meal. That is not an issue. Anybody can cook. If you can boil water, you can cook.
Of course you can.
Yeah, that was your local MP, Lee Anderson from Nottinghamshire.
Yeah.
There's no
This
real
is
need
the
for
idiot that claimed 220,000 on top of his wage in expenses.
It's almost like, what were her name? Let them eat cake.
Marie Antoinette.
Antoinette.
That's it, Marie Antoinette.
That was
Let them eat cake.
And that was actually, there is evidence that she never actually said that.
But yeah, it's more the metaphor than it is the actual. But that's how far removed it is.
Oh, 100%. And this is the problem with London. It always has been. The problem with Westminster is everything's there. So when they're telling you to ride your bike to work instead of use your car, they don't work half an hour's drive away from the house. Stevie's touched on this in Glasgow previously. Employers were in the centre of town. There were buses to town. There were shift buses, so you could be there for your shift changeover. You can't do that anymore.
No.
You have to have a vehicle. You know, it's like the meat steak bakes. I don't think so, Alan. Only because Greg...
And if I think I heard the news correct, the Scottish Railway is in a bit of a dilemma.
Yes, Vic put a post up on Facebook.
Fucking shitloads of strikes, I think.
Yeah, there's
the expo weekend.
So you need to check if you're changing in Glasgow. Make sure you check your connecting trains to make sure they've not been affected.
Hasn't
Now, if you want more details, it's on Vic's Vaping with Vic page on Facebook.
Am I right, or I could be wrong? Have Scotland taken the railway off privatisation? It's now in the realms of the government now.
I think so, yes.
Now, what people don't realise is train drivers are on a bloody good wage.
Fuck yeah.
And there is a reason for that. Because I've got plenty of friends who drive wagons, and I have the utmost respect for wagon drivers. Train drivers, different issue. Wagon drivers, when you see these idiots cutting into the gap in between wagons, yeah, they're not taking into account there's probably 10, 12 tons of stuff behind that cab. They ain't going to stop. Multiply that up by a train.
Oh, God, yeah.
A train will take somewhere up to, on a good day, half a mile, 3/4 of a mile to stop completely.
Depending on load.
Yeah. With the train drivers, what also do you get? You get people throwing themselves off the bridge.
We've had 3 of them recently.
Yeah. I used to work for a firm. We used to do, this sounds crazy, weed killing on the railways, but we also supplied sandite and water stripping. So in the autumn, when the leaves collect on the line, our lads were jumping on the train, and we were literally going out and stripping the top off the railheads with a high pressure water jet. Yeah. Unfortunately, we've had cases where we had jumpers in front of those trains. Everything shuts down until every scrap of that body is found. Or
yeah, but I mean that happens on the motorways as well.
Yeah.
Since I've been working at Yorkshire Aggregates, we've had 2 on the M18.
Yeah.
And we had 1 only, what was it, about 2 weeks ago on the A1. I mean, I was stuck in traffic for 2.5 hours.
Oh, you were stuck in that? Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah. I mean, I set off to work at 5:30.
You got there about 8.
Yeah. I think it was about 8:25 I got there. So, yeah, it's not good.
Well, I mean, and they're putting up with youths chucking bricks at the train while they're driving past. That's a common one. Yeah. So those boys deserve it. So when you've got somebody saying we need to save money, let's cut the wages. No, let's bloody not.
Yeah.
You know, whatever happened to having a pride?
Oh, that's
When
gone.
when did it become wrong to have a pride in your job?
When your employer's fucking knocked it out of you.
Yeah, they did.
Nah.
See, the problem is, it's this all the time. All the time. So, if you've noticed, as soon as they start raising the wages, all of a sudden all the other prices go up. And it's always that, no matter what. So they've increased the minimum wage. And you notice they've increased the minimum wage, prices have gone up.
Yeah, because they pass it on.
Yeah. So instead of
Feedback
sort of like
made again.
keeping material-wise so high, if they lowered the cost of living down, they wouldn't have to increase the wages. I'm not the greatest mathematician, but
Regarding that, the rail strike thing, Summer of Scots rail strikes loom as 800 Scot rail services are cancelled in a week in driver to work rule. And that's unfortunately the weekend of fucking Expo.
Is this where we get the tin foil out?
I don't know. Do you know what? I think we actually need a fucking civil war in the UK. I think that's what we bloody need.
well, if you get stuck, Vic, you can always stop at our house.
I mean, basic inflation, 9% for the UK, yeah. Personally, I think it's much higher than that. When you work it out, because dependent on what you measure it on, depends on what the percentage is.
Oh yeah,
If
and
you-
let's face it, you can fiddle blooming percentages.
Oh, God, yeah.
It's like the unemployed. How many is really unemployed?
No. You can't fiddle with the unemployed. The police get involved. It gets messy.
Yeah, but how they used to gauge the unemployment of this country is not how they do it now.
Oh, God, no. No. I was laughing when I heard a politician on Breakfast TV saying they were talking about unemployment and how it was going to be a problem. And the geezer's saying, well, there's more jobs than there is unemployed at the minute. Oh, really? Full employment? Where? Would somebody like to show me? We're not talking 0-hour contracts here, pal. You know, it's absolutely ridiculous. Nah, Bunny, we weren't called off. They're just running late.
And then Theo turn up at once.
Yeah. And what do you know what bugs me and all as well? They're now blaming it on Ukraine. It's because of the war in Ukraine. No, things were going up way before that.
It's a convenient one. Now, the Ukraine will have serious knock-ons because 80% of the world's sunflower oil comes from the Ukraine.
Oh yeah, I mean,
A lot of
and the
processed
wheat
food.
and everything.
But the wheat, etc., most of that was going to Africa. There was very little of the Ukrainian stuff coming in over to Europe.
Yeah, it was going to Africa, Egypt, and
Yeah. So, well, we say that with certainty. Obviously, these are reported things, but there we are. Sri Lanka's run out of petrol. States in the US, which have petrol at $2 a gallon, will soon be seeing it up to $10 a gallon. That right there would start a US civil war if it happens. Yeah, and they let the buggers carry around guns. It's got fuck all to do with the war. This is the government clawing back all that furlough money they paid
it
out.
is. Yeah, I totally agree with
I
it.
agree with that. I agree
Yeah.
with that.
At the end
it's
of the
all-
day, you've got to think about it. When furlough was going off, it's all like, you do know we're going to have to pay this back.
Yep.
And we are.
Oh yes,
We'll
we
pay
are.
it back by hook or by crook.
Yeah.
The so-called 150 quid rebate, that's getting paid back. You know,
Yeah, bring back red diesel. Yeah, we've lost that.
Yeah.
I mean, our place, we're having to use on normal diesel. It's blooming crazy.
Oh, we. All the brand new machines that are coming out of the factories now are all coming in with white on them.
Vic,
Because it used to be any new machine that came into us had maybe 5 gallon of fuel in them. I mean, you're talking some of the machines that we've got, as Mark knows, they've got 200 gallon tanks. They're massive fucking machines, and they would put 5 gallon of fuel in it, basically just take it off the back of the loader. But us as a company could not fill those machines up, because if we did, then we'd be classed as supplying fuel. Then we'd need to pay additional tax over and above. But everybody's now using weight. So all the machines are coming now straight for the factory with about half a tank full of weight in them. So if you run a diesel car, you can maybe siphon 2 or 3 gallon out. But then you take the chance, do you lose your job for stealing a couple of gallon of diesel?
it's not worth it.
No, it's not.
And Bunny, sorry, there's Bunny's comment in the chat. At the end of the day, why are we still relying on other countries to provide things we can easily and cheaply produce here in the UK? We can't anymore. We do not have the manufacturing base to produce half the stuff.
No, because those fucking Tories fucking sold it all off. I'm just saying McGill stinks guilt.
Do you know we are at the... I'll get this right. This country, at its lowest of farming, was just prior to the Second World War.
Yep.
Production-wise. We imported more goods prior to the Second World War. That's why you ended up with, Dig for England and all that going off in the Second World War. And since the Second World War, since the 50s, our actual production rate has gone down drastically. We are now lower producing country than we were at the start of the Second World War. That's how bad this country is.
We have less agricultural land than we used to have as well, because we build bloody houses on it.
Yeah.
People just don't have the skills.
Also, as industry. Industry's gone. The steelworks have gone, mining's gone. The big jobs, they've all gone now.
Because we've all gone tech. Or hairdressers. Or
let's face it, all these green people, don't get me wrong, I believe that we need to live in a greener environment. I totally appreciate that. But look what situation we are in now with fuel. We are reliant on a dictatorship for fuel. And it doesn't matter which end of the world you get it from, they're both in the same type of people that we're dealing with.
Oh, yeah.
And we've let that happen.
Because we've gone for the fast buck instead of the long-term plan.
All them pits that they shut. Instead of trying to find a way to use fossil fuel in a cleaner way, no. It's easy if we just get it from them.
That's why the open cast coal industry in Scotland died of death, because it was cheaper to import coal from Russia.
There's the pit here. The pit here that, used to be here. The actual seam that's still there would last all the power stations in this country for another 300 years. That's how much coal there is there. That's just one mine in this country. That's just one mine. So you work out how many mines there are, or used to be. 3 in the seam that they was digging, 300 years worth. But no, we'd rather buy it from Russia.
And people might think that's a flippant comment from Vic. They've already shown producing an electric vehicle produces more carbon than if you're producing a normal vehicle. Now, the argument you get from the green parties is that, yes, but while it's on the road, it produces less carbon. Yeah? Cobblers. Because even if you add what the vehicle and what it produces on the road, it's still less than the carbon emissions for actually manufacturing that electric vehicle.
But then you've got to think
before you go any further, for every wind turbine that they install, it takes 25 years before it starts making money. Every wind
Crazy.
turbine.
But then again, how do your big power companies turn around and say at the end of the financial year here that they've made billions and billions of pounds in profit?
Well, that's because of us lot, isn't it? Because you look now how energy companies have got a monopoly over your bank account. They will take out of your bank account what they want. You have not got no rights or anything like that. Once you agree to that direct debit, they'll take out whatever they want. They could clear your bank account out and there's nothing you can do about it. How many services can do that? They can't, can they?
Oh.
They've got to have permission. Your electrical company doesn't.
Now, the thing that makes me laugh about the electrical company, they take a lot of people pay by direct debit, They overcharge you, that sits on your account as a credit, You can ask them for a refund. Don't get the interest back. Now, that to you is a couple of £100. You imagine how many times that's been multiplied.
Oh, God, yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I think these electric cars are brilliant. I think it's ace. But
We're sounding very anti-green. We're not.
oh God, no! Far from it.
I've got 2 young kids. I would like them to live in the best world possible. What I'm saying is, what we're being sold as the answer isn't.
The technology and infrastructure isn't there yet.
No.
As long as the oil companies hold the patent rights to the essential mechanisms within electric vehicles that would allow for recharging of batteries, never going to happen. So
yes, I think somebody else would put them as go down the hydrogen route. I think there's a lot of manufacturers starting to go down that route. I mean, I know there's a lot of some of the heavy plant manufacturers are actually looking at that as well. I was told today, I mean, anybody who runs a diesel car or knows anything about diesel cars, you have a DPF, you have a diesel particulate filter. So some of them, with the new modern ones with the Tier 4 engines, you need to use AdBlue.
Oh.
Apparently you still need to use AdBlue with hydrogen engines. I haven't looked into this yet, but apparently this is right enough. But I always thought with hydrogen engine or hydrogen burning an engine, the only byproduct you get for that was water. But apparently it's not.
No. And the electric buses that Vic's talking about is those buses exploding. I believe he's referring, this was actually an experimental thing they did in Germany. They were running hydrogen buses and it was those that went boom.
I mean, they're on about electrical buses and that. What happened to trams?
They were electric buses, were they not?
Yeah.
They got sold to Hong Kong, I believe, the Glasgow trams.
They got rid of them all.
Yeah.
It's so like, no. See, it's like with every government, it doesn't matter what party or political party that's in power, they only think about their term. And that's as far as their eyes see, their term. After that, they're not bothered.
If you've noticing a lack of illumination, it's because the majestic Mullen's got to run for the UKVS, and you can catch him over on Twitch.
And we will be floofing you in a moment.
He's way to polish his golden halo.
Oh. Fuck me.
Let's get the flock out of here.
I'm still waiting to see pictures of the Pope, and there'll be Vic in the background.
Yeah, Sam Ends, but that's because they can still use old tech engines. They're easy to modify current engines. The thing is, though, there is an expense to changing even modern engines over to run on hydrogen, because of the higher temperatures. It's not, they're still not proving that it's going to work, and it's not going to be beneficial because with the higher temperatures that the hydrogen burns at, metal melts. And they've had it before in the past where it's actually burnt valves to literally cinders, because the valves on the engines they're very fine at the ends, and because of the heat generated, it breaks the metal down. You lose compression in your engine, so you're looking at taking the head off, rechanging valves and seats and all the fucking rest of it.
And here's an interesting one: carbonite.
Han Solo was frozen in that.
It's a thing. It is a material they have discovered, which is literally one carbon atom. But if you add just 3% of carbonite to, I was watching a documentary on BBC Four, BBC Four last night, and they did a brake test just on polymer straps, and the original polymer could hold 500 newtons, which is about the weight of 2 cement bags, Add 3% of carbonite to it, that triples.
Really?
This stuff is amazing. It conducts electricity because it's pure carbon. And it's literally a material made of one molecule thick of graphite. It's amazing stuff. Only just being discovered, but the possibilities that are there is just stunning.
See, then, I mean, if you can make cars with something like that, it's lightweight. So you don't need
Graphene,
bigger
sorry,
engines.
that was the one. Paul, thank you so much for that, mate. Graphene, not carbonite. Do apologise, it was my Star Wars.
It was a Star Wars.
I told you.
Graphene, yes.
Graphene. What programme was that on?
It was a documentary on scale. This week they went micro, and next week they're expanding out to.
Oh, I'll have to. And that's on BBC.
iPlayer.
iPlayer. Oh, I'll have to.
It's on
have a look at
iPlayer.
that.
It's really worth a look. If you want to know what an atom looks like, watch that documentary.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely stunning. We had a bit of a documentary fest last night.
Yes, because we're always watching documentaries.
Well, if anybody's got Disney Plus, I highly recommend the Drain the Oceans.
Yeah, that is good, that.
They've done some new ones. They drained the Bermuda Triangle, and they also drained Port Royal in the Caribbean, which was the largest pirate city. That is absolutely fascinating.
Yeah, because I was watching one the other day about the tallest mountain isn't Everest, and the highest waterfall isn't Niagara, not Niagara, Angel Falls.
Sure. Yeah.
There's a waterfall in the Atlantic that's dwarfs Angel Falls. And same with the Everest.
The trench by Puerto Rico, they were saying there's vertical cliffs in there that are 5 miles. And then you've got 5 miles of water above that. So when you look at the world like that, we, the human race, are literally, if you want to take it into perspective, clinging to the top of Mount Everest. If you look at it like that,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
Thank you, Gail.
Thank you, Gail.
So are we going to floof them?
Yeah. So guys, get yourselves over to that link that Gail's just put on there just now, over to Grizzly's Twitch channel, and watch the lads of the UK Vape Show.
Blue Holes, isn't that the other documentary about freezing the fear out of yourself?
The Blue Hole.
No, the Blue Holes.
Oh, I normally get that. If I sit in the show.
Right, are we going to wrap this one up then?
Yes.
I think we should. Apologies for it's been a bit ranty this evening, and it's not been everybody's cup of tea, I'm sure. Normal service will be resumed next week.
Expo.
As Mark says, guys, please do your damnedest to help us out, because if you don't, we don't know how long we're going to be here for. And we need your support. We need your backing. And I've asked before, guys, if there's any subjects that you want us to talk about, please drop us a line, stick something in the Facebook group, and just we'll get something started. We want to keep this channel going. This show in particular, we want to keep this going. I mean, the three of us enjoy doing this on a Thursday evening. We get a good giggle out of it between the three of us. But you guys out there in Chatland keep us going. And we really appreciate that from the bottom of our hearts. We can't thank you enough for that. But to keep the show going, we need your input, your support, and push the show for us. Get it out there. I mean, stick it in your Facebook pages or whatever to try and help us out. And it's going to, and the way things are going with YouTube at the moment, it's not going to just be this show. It's going to be everybody's channels. So please, guys, it'd be much, much, much appreciated. And on that note, I may see you next week. I don't know. It all depends on the weather, because I've got a bike show to go to. But if I'm here, I'm here. If I'm not, I'm not. But please come and give Mark and Steve your support anyway, because it's the pre-expo show where they'll be talking all things of what you need to take with you and what not to do. So,
Expo.
Come and join the boys next Thursday, same time, same channel, and hopefully, if I don't see you next week, I'll see you the week after. And I'll hand that over to Stephen.
Okay, how'd you follow that? Thank you.
It was a bit of a wasn't it?
I'm there. Chat, thank you so much for joining us. It's been lovely seeing some faces we haven't seen for a while. Gaz, lovely seeing you. Vic, thank you for showing up. I know you're busy now, dude. Everybody else, you are the faithful. It's fabulous. It's lovely. It is like having a family on a Thursday.
It is.
I appreciate we probably went on a bit of a rant tonight, not only about YouTube but about other stuff. If you don't agree with us, that's fine. You don't have to agree, but we do respect other people's views as well, and we hope you do the same for ours. Don't pull faces, Mark. We do.
We do, totally. Oh, totally.
See, you all thought he was the nice one.
Nice one.
Oh, he's a little bagger.
Oh, he is. These are interesting times, Bill, and unfortunately, I think there's a bit more pain in the bum to come, but we'll get through it. We always do.
Yeah.
Right, I shall hand you over to Mark on this wonderful note so he can give you love, cuddles, and squelchy bits.
Week to go, and it's Expo. Yes, Betty, Steve, thank you for a lovely evening. I've got a little bit off my chest because obviously I have been a bit knotted up for last quite a few days about YouTube and things like that. But like what Betty says, we are desperately trying to keep this going. So any help that you can do, that was fantastic. Don't forget, as you're leaving, throw us a thumbs up. That always helps as well. It just gets that algorithm going and gets promoted. If we can keep the momentum going of promoting the actual show, get more people in, more interested. If there's anything that you want us to talk about, anything, if you want to have a question show where you ask us questions, we're here. We can do that. If you want to talk about other subjects, not just about vaping, you want to talk about anything, the state of the country, anything you want, let us know. And we can sort of like, in the background, we can do a bit of research. We can get things up for you. If there's something that you want to know, we can do that. We're very open. So drop us a message. Facebook, we've got a Facebook page, cracking little Facebook page, not being used much to be honest with you, but if you use it, it's there, it's for your benefit just as much as ours, and the more that you put in, the more that we can put in as well. So I know it sounds like a begging letter, but please, if you can help, that's brilliant. So I'm going to wrap this one up. I want to give you guys that watch this week in, week out, such love. And I can't wait to see you at Expo. Hopefully most of you will be at Expo and you will definitely be getting a huggle from me. Definitely. So thank you. I want to say it outright. Thank you very much. I want to thank Betty. I want to thank Steve as well. because without these guys, there wouldn't be a show. Without you guys, there wouldn't be a show. And yeah, after all the shit that's gone off with YouTube, it's this that I am putting all my focuses in. So if you can help, that would be fantastic. So I'm going to wrap this one up. I'm not going to rant anymore or anything like that. Big love to you all. Next week, we'll be doing the Expo special show. So we'll be talking all about Expo, past and future Expos, and what we think we're going to see, what we're looking forward to, all that kind of stuff. So if you've got any little ditties that you'd like to put in chat, that'd be fantastic.
big
Any little
ditties.
Stories, that'd be awesome. Put them on the Facebook page. Tell us what you're looking forward to. All that
Can't
kind of
put
stuff.
ditties on Facebook now.
Titties. Can't do titties. Nakedness. So I've ranted enough. Go and check out Little Bro Vapes, Vic, Grizzly, and Adam on Twitch. So we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Outro.
Get your titties out for the lads.
I've got visions.